Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I present to you Kwame and the End of Summer Lockdown.
Hey! Where you guys been?
Waiting on the corner, waiting for this man to say him can only come out at certain hours.
I've been waiting here for an hour.
It's a beautiful day, eh?
No.
Where's it?
Have you brought the domino?
Yeah, man, we're ready.
What kind of dominoes is that, boy?
Come on, start, man. I'll give us 6
Come on,
love.
start. Begin.
Gonna give us 6 love. Ooh.
Hold up
It's
yourself,
me.
man. Hold up yourself. Hold up yourself.
Come on, no man, it's slow.
Hold up yourself now, man. Take your time, okay?
Come on.
It's dead.
Look at gentlemen.
How are you doing?
Who's
Grandson.
winning?
Your grandson, how are you? Grandson, Kwame. Of course it's me winning. What do you mean? Me too.
Are you going to play too? You want to play?
No, I don't play dominoes. How you doing, man?
What?
The young men of today, they don't know them things. This is win-loss games.
Are you trying to say something? You don't play dominoes?
Of course I play
said,
dominoes.
you know, dominoes-
I don't play dominoes.
Yeah, man, let me tell you, this is a cultural thing, you know. Come all the way from the West Indies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your granddad should have taught you that long time ago. You worthless piece of self.
So you say you come to see me, Kwame?
Yeah, I ain't coming to talk about dominoes. I came to talk to you.
This what?
Yes, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
You know, my first grandson, this, you know. That's your favor me. Eh? The teeth. What you say?
Look at that. So, show me now.
So it's what?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I'm ready for this project that I'm doing now. I've done the research. I've got everything together.
Proud of
and
you.
I'm ready for that $2,000 you promised me as well.
He got no too hate me to rub with himself. You asked for $2,000.
No, man, no.
Why are you lying to the boys? Why are you lying?
He's my first grandson, so I do anything. Yes, next Saturday. Come next Saturday.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, the partner due next Saturday. So when you come next Saturday, you're gonna have the green building. Green, blue, purple. 2,000.
You promise?
and where are you going to get it?
Come next Saturday, man.
Next Saturday. I'll see you later. See you later.
See you later.
Take care.
What you lying to the kid for? What you lying to the kid for?
What is that?
I couldn't let him down.
$2,000?
You're gonna let him down
got one
even
penny.
worse.
He's my
You haven't
grandson.
got that, and you know that part that you're talking rubbish now, you know. You're gonna let the boy down again, and I know I don't want to get between you and your son. Because when your son find out about this kind of nonsense you're talking about, you and him are gonna hellfire and brimstone.
I don't want to see
My
that.
grandson, I've got a
I have my own grandson to see.
You let down too many children in the past.
What's taking so long, fam? Hey, big man, why are you taking so long, fam? Alright, cool. 10 minutes. Yeah? Say no more.
Alright, bro, you need to relax, man.
What do you mean relax, fam?
Bro, look how vexed you are.
Yeah, because the dickhead said he was coming in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you know what Kwame's like? He's a long guy, but he's smart. He's got the brains. He's got the shit we have got. Bro, how many GCSEs did you get? Have you been uni, college, anything like that? We have done that.
Listen.
Kwame's brain works differently, so he'll hear when he gets here.
Tell him to
When he
hurry
gets
up.
here.
Tell him to hurry up then. Tell him to hurry up.
Bro, he said he'd be serious about this, so.
Yes, not them. We
Alright,
say,
yes,
listen,
Kwame,
sorry,
man,
man.
yes, man.
I got caught up in traffic, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
man. Bro, you look tense, bro. What's wrong with you?
You're taking very long in there, man.
Bro, traffic is traffic, bro. What can I do?
Alright.
I can't fly, can I?
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it anyway, Kwame. Just tell him about the proposal, let him know about it. Tell him how serious about the food you are.
What food? What?
I'm
Food?
serious
You're on it?
Yeah, man, I got a scheme going.
Are you on it,
bro.
fam?
Of course, bro.
Are you sure, fam?
Yeah, man, I got a scheme going.
Alright
bro.
then, alright
I
then.
want to bring new man in, fam.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Alright.
Bring the both of you man in, bro. I just need you man's help in it.
Okay.
Got everything patterned. Got the research done. Got the advertising all patterned as well.
Advertising.
Yeah.
See what I'm
Got the
saying?
vehicle, got the place let, got the venue let as well.
Okay. I'm liking
All
this.
that pattern.
Yeah.
And I got the ingredients too.
Ingredients
So
as
it'll
well,
be a-
okay.
So it'll be a big thing. Big thing.
Ingredients. You know what I'm
Whoa.
saying?
Ingredients? What do you mean ingredients? You're talking about food, right? Food. You know, food that Food? Me? Food?
Yeah, food you eat.
Oh shit, man's
Food
about,
you eat, you
man's
get it?
about Uber Eats.
Man's about Uber Eats! Uber
Alright,
Eats!
Kwame,
What are you back,
tell me
fam?
not being serious right now.
Bro,
The actual
Listen,
restaurants
yeah.
and that. Bro,
bro, listen, yeah? Bro, let me finish, bro. Let me finish, bro. Yeah, let me explain, yeah. Obviously, yes, it's gonna be food, it's gonna be deliveries and stuff like that. But, you know,
So let me get this straight. When you said you're back on to do food, yeah, you're talking about doing Uber. Are you being serious?
not Uber Eats, start food business.
What you
Oh,
expect
you
us to
are.
do? Delivery driver or what? Cook chips.
Fam, this is your fucking fault, bro. Why are you bringing this waste man in? Why did you bring this waste man in, fam?
Man, we'll do
Why
something,
did you bring
bro.
this waste man in?
I don't even know,
Bro,
to be
talk
honest.
to your boy, cuz.
Don't shut up about talk to your boy, man. You're dead,
I
fam.
thought he was on this.
Hey, yo, come on, let's cut. No, you're a waste man, bro. You're a waste man, bro. Fuck yourself.
Bro, you ain't even let me finish, bro. You ain't let me finish what I'm saying.
Enjoy your business.
Yo, you man. Oh, that's how you feel? Alright then. Don't need you, man. Don't need none of them. I can do this by my fucking self. Me. Who have I got? Me. I know what to do. They'll see. So, Granddad,
Kwame's grandson, yeah? Yeah?
your Granddad, so, are you ready for me?
Yeah, nice to
been a
see you,
long
man.
day.
Nice to see you, man. How is the day going?
Oh, it's been a long day, lot of stress, lot of bullshit, but forget that. Are you ready for me, though?
What you mean ready, grandson?
The $2,000. What else?
The $2,000?
Yeah.
Remember I tell you about the partner thing, you know, the partner, what I was throwing?
Yeah, what about it?
A bad thing happened, you know.
Oh,
The
What happened?
man that organizes it, he went and got run off with the money, so the 2,000 that I had to give you, you have to wait till next
2,000
month.
you promised.
Yeah, you gotta wait till next month.
Next month? Granddad, you know how long I've been planning for this thing. What am I supposed to tell the people in the venue? That, I can't pay for the venue, or I've got to wait 2 months. Is that what you're telling me?
Shh. I think your father coming. Shh.
See, Granddad, oh man.
Hello, son. How you doing?
Fine. I'm fine.
What's up?
No, just stress.
Why? Who stressed you out now this time?
Oh, Granddad promised me $2,000, and
What?
now he's telling me.
Hang. Granddad promised you what?
He promised me £2,000 for this project I'm gonna do.
Stop. Is this right?
Yeah, yes.
What are you doing promising my son £2,000 when he ain't even got 200 quid?
I love him.
That's not the answer to the question. What is wrong with you? You don't learn. All you ever do is give people false promises. You can't do that. You did it with me, you messed up my life, and now you're trying to mess up my son's life.
Listen,
You don't
I'm
have that
trying.
right.
I'm trying, son. I'm trying. Give me a chance.
You're 70 bloody years old about give you a chance. You had 50 bloody years, Dad. Mess up my life, yes, you've done that. Nothing can change the past. But don't do that with the future of my son. What is wrong with you?
I love him, and I love you too.
You don't know the meaning of the word love. Don't even get me started. Get off me. Don't touch me.
I loved you, and I love your mother. I love all of
How
you.
dare you even mention her name in this room after what you did to her? After you went out, spent all her money, all her savings, lost her home, and then went and slept with that bloody white woman.
Whoa.
Don't bring up that again.
You broke her heart, and she's dead. And I wish you were dead instead of her. Now get out.
Really? You want me dead? I brought you into this world. You ungrateful son of a...
Get out.
Dad, did you really have to say that to him? Did you really have to say that to him? That's too far.
Son, I'm very sorry, yeah?
Why'd you say that?
Because son, he just does this to me all the time. Take son,
You
look.
didn't have to say that.
Son.
That's too far. He's an old man, for crying out loud. Come on.
Son, listen, I'm sorry you had to hear that. I'm sorry you had to see that. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on with my dad that you don't know. And you know what? There's many things that I haven't explained to you in the past. And I'm really sorry about that.
Explain to me. Do you want to know the real reason why I went to Granddad instead of you? Why I went to Granddad about this project I'm doing? Because he's there. He's there for me. When was the last time we went to the park? When was the last time we took a stroll? We didn't take no stroll. We ain't done none of that. But Granddad was there. Granddad showed me love. I never got not 1 ounce of love from you. Never. So yes, I went to Granddad because he understands. Even though, yes, he messed up big time. He flopped me big time, but at least he tried. If I was to come to you, you would have been like, oh, I'm working.
Everything you said is right. But it's the way he raised me like an iron fist. He beat the emotions out of me. And I'm sorry that I haven't been there for you, son. It's been hard for me. But I don't want him to do what he did to me to put onto you. And I'm really, really sorry that I haven't been there as much as I have been, but it's not been easy since your mum went. I have raised you. I've had to raise my dad. My mum passed away. I've got to pay a roof over my head. I can't give you excuses, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, son. But please do not take this man's word, because he will do what he did to me to you. I am the example, and I do not want you to be like me.
Well, he's been there for me. You haven't. And I can't forget that, Dad. I'm sorry.
Think all right?
I'm not not coming in, you know.
See.
Alright. Where is he?
Who?
Kwame.
What about him?
Well, you said you were going to be around here?
Yeah, he said. Oh, he went to go see Mr. Biggs.
What?
Mr. Biggs.
Whoa. Mr. Biggs? Isn't that guy who sells drugs?
Mr. Biggs.
What are they?
Easy. Social distancing.
COVID.
I'm vaccinated.
You have your vaccination?
Of course.
Oh,
You want to see it on the phone?
Stay there.
You want to see proof? I got proof.
What do you want?
Right, I want.
You don't tell me what you want. What is it?
Money. I need money.
You want money.
You set him up to see Mr. Biggs?
What do you set him up? I'm helping him out. He's a
What
friend.
kind of friend are you?
A good friend. What kind of friend are you?
A good friend?
Yes.
To sell drugs?
You don't know his past.
You know
He needs
what
to make some
happened
money.
I really need the money to set this thing up. Everyone is letting me down, and I'm sick and tired of setbacks after setbacks after setbacks. I need money. I need money to start my little thing.
How much you want?
I just need 2,000. Just 2,000 pounds.
You want?
That's all I need.
You want 2,000?
That's all I need.
You work for Jay-Z?
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
But you know what happened last time? He can.
That was
handle.
5 months ago. Things changed.
But he cannot handle the.
Why do you hate Mr. Big so much? I thought you said we shouldn't judge people on their
The
past.
man is a drug dealer, man.
So what?
Please, Mr. Biggs.
What?
Please, I'm begging you, Mr. Biggs. I really need this money. I need to get this thing sorted. I'm up to my last.
No matter beg. Judge,
Yeah, man.
bring it back home.
No, what feet?
Alright. Listen. Walk on talk, you're dead. Winston, give me the bag.
The only thing who comes from
Right,
him
boss.
is arm.
No.
Nothing good.
Do you know what Mr. Biggs did for me? He saved my life 10 years ago. I owe my life to him.
Yeah. And what are you doing now?
I'm working. COVID fucks me up. What do you want me to do about it?
Working?
Yes.
What kind of work?
I'm just working. Let's ask me questions. What are you doing?
Me?
Is he gonna listen to you? You got no money, you got no peace, you're broke.
Oh, this bag is heavy. What's in this?
Let me tell you, say nothing. Don't tell nothing to nobody.
My fault. My fault.
And you must give it to a man then called Mr. H.
Mr. H.
Not Mr. B, not Mr. C, and not Mr. D. They give it to Mr. H.
Mr. H.
Mr. H.
H.
Got you. Got you. Thank you so much. I
Come on.
appreciate this.
Yeah, I don't have money, but at least I don't hit every knock on the door.
Hey, look who it is.
Come.
Yo, look who it is.
Oh, yo,
Mr. Ivy.
yo, so sorry about last week, man. I just was in a very bad place. Well,
I could tell.
Wait.
I'm good now.
Wait, don't.
Alright, don't worry about it.
What's in the bag?
I don't know. It's heavy. Like,
What?
He didn't tell me.
You don't know?
Why are you always
No, he
asking
didn't tell me.
questions, Mother Teresa?
What is that? What is that?
He didn't tell me.
You're gonna grab a bag and don't know what it is?
Well, he told me like not to ask questions. So
You know who the guy is?
It's Mr. Biggs. He's a cool
course
guy.
I know who
He's
he
a
is.
businessman.
What businessman?
He does business and he makes money.
He sells
Listen,
drugs.
anyway, he's going to use the money for an investment. So what's the problem? He'll pay it back.
Pay back?
Yes.
When?
When he makes his money in his first turnover.
He's due to give the money in 2 weeks.
He'll
He's gonna make the money
Listen,
in 2 weeks.
Mr. Biggs, can you
George?
negotiate?
George? Where my phone there? Where my phone there? Well, I'm there.
Yo, I mean, listen, the boy just left. I've one black bag, black baseball hat, everything black. Yeah, let's get the raw money off him, yeah? Alright.
Okay, you can go.
Listen, don't listen to him.
Man,
You got this, man.
You're gonna regret it.
Wait, listen. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what happens
You
now.
are going to
I don't
regret
care
it.
what happens now. I need money. I got the money. All I got to do is give it to Mr. H, and then I'm set.
Yeah, but
So
bro, you got the right decision, man. Just
listen,
go for it.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, come on. Should be
And
helping
you
your
say
boy.
you're his friend.
I am his friend.
Yeah.
Phone.
Hello,
Hi, son. It's Dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
I don't really want to speak to you right now. I'm really stressed out right now. I really have nothing to say to you right
Yeah, son. Listen, just 1 minute of your time, yeah. I'll just let you know. I've just come from the doctor's surgery, yeah. And I haven't got some good news for you, I'm afraid.
What is it?
I'll just let you know that I had some tests done, and they came back positive, yeah.
COVID?
Huh?
Hold on.
No, son. Wait, please.
Hello,
Kwame, where have you been? You know you shouldn't be leaving me in my condition.
babes. Listen,
You're leaving me, aren't you? You're leaving me. I'm going to be another single mother, aren't I?
No.
You're leaving me, aren't you, Kwame?
No, babes, no.
I've seen you for such a long time.
I've just been sorting something out. Like, just
You
give
said
me
we're going to go
time.
for this together.
We will do this together. We'll get away with it. We'll get through this. Hold on. I got another call. Hello?
Hey, don't you fierce boy. Where my money there? You know what I mean?
Mr. Biggs.
Hey, but call me that. Where my money?
Yo, listen, 2 guys came
Listen,
out of
now
nowhere.
24. In fact, I have my money today.
I feel set up. I feel
Sure.
like this is set up. Because 2 guys came out of nowhere and just, took the bag.
Listen, who you value first? Your baby mother, your father, your grandfather. Just make sure you get my fucking money.
No, Mr. Biggs, Mr. Biggs, you don't need to go. We don't need to do that. You don't need to go there. Mr. Biggs, you don't need to go there. Hold on. So my dad's calling me. Hold on. Hello, Dad?
Son, as I was saying to you, listen, please just hang on just 1 second, yeah? I need someone to talk to. I've just come back to surgery and I've got cancer, son.
Cancer?
Yeah, prostate cancer. I can't believe it. Oh, my God.
You gotta be joking.
No, I ain't joking, son. This is all I need. Oh, my God, I don't know what to do. Son, what do I do?
This is too much for me right now. I gotta go.
No, son, please, don't go. I can't talk to nobody else. Son,
Babes.
Please never have a problem.
Babes, relax. Lie down.
What do you mean
Just
telling me to
lie
lie down? What's the matter with you?
Lie down. Just
You're
lie
leaving me,
down.
aren't you?
Calm down. Relax.
You're
Take some
leaving me, aren't
deep
you?
breaths.
I know you're
alright?
leaving me. Is it that girl you've been seeing? It isn't it? Typical. I got bun in the on,
What are you talking
over and
about?
you're leaving me now.
What are you talking about?
I know you're leaving me. I see that secretive you've been doing behind my back. I can't believe this.
Listen, I don't know
My
what
mother
you're
did
talking about.
warn
I
me.
gotta go. I ain't got time for this shit. Fuck. What now?
Hey,
Hello?
boy, let me tell you something.
Mr. Biggs,
Want
Mr.
me money tonight. Me not run for you, you know. Hey, me take wife left for that, you know. Want me money?
I'll give you
Want me money?
I'll get your money. I'll get your money.
If I don't get my money, one of your people that are dead.
Mr. Biggs.
Remember that.
Mr. Biggs,
They don't call me Mr. Big for nothing, you know.
I get that, but listen.
Get what? Let's make sure you get my money tonight.
I'll give you your money. I'll get your money.
Hey.
I swear. I'll get you your
10
money.
o'clock tonight, are you dead?
10 o'clock.
You want to see a picnic? You want to see a picnic?
No, Mr. You don't need to go.
Don't
that far.
Mr. Big me nothing.
Mr. Biggs,
Get
you
my
don't need to go
money.
that far. Mr. Biggs, please.
Just get my money.
I'll get you your money. I'll get you your
Just
money.
get my money.
I'll get you your
Just
money.
get my money.
Don't
get you
leave
your
me,
money.
Kwame.
Just get my
Kwame, don't
money.
leave me.
Mr.
Please
Biggs,
don't leave me,
Just get
Kwame.
my money.
Kwame, don't leave me.
Son,
Just
Kwame,
get
don't
my
leave me.
money.
son, please.
Don't leave me,
Listen,
Kwame.
it's your dad talking.
My
Come on,
money.
listen, son.
Don't
It's
leave
your
me.
dad talking
Get
there. Please,
my
son, mate. I need your
money.
help. I need your support, son.
Kwame,
You're
don't
ill, son.
What is son?
Dad, the other day our conversation was a bit deep,
Yeah, man, painful, man, painful,
and I still feel quite embarrassed, really, because we had this conversation in front of my son.
I feel hurt too, son. I feel hurt. Shouldn't have gone that far.
And that's the one thing I have to agree with. But Dad, why do you never learn?
We're not going down that road again, son. I want reconciliation with you. I want to give you back now what I didn't give you back all them years.
Do you know how many times I've heard that, Dad? I'm tired of that, Dad. And I understand how you are, and I can live with how you are. Yes? I can live with that because of what you've done to me for all those years. You know what? I can't change that, and you can't change the past. But I would not have you inflicting your negative behaviour, your alcoholism, your gambling. You've wasted all the money that you put in your pension. You've squandered mum's savings. And, okay, listen.
Don't you think we need each other now?
But, hang on, let me finish. I would not allow you to ruin my son the way you ruined me.
Lean
Don't
on me when I'm not strong. I want to be your help. I want to help you carry on, son. Because you know, it's not going to be very long. You are going to need somebody to lean on.
Do you know what, Dad? And I call you Dad out of respect. But really and truly, you're a sperm donor. All you did was give birth to me. You never loved me, you never raised me, you never nurtured me. And the truth may hurt. But the only person I really loved is my mother. And you broke her heart when you slept with that white woman. And she's buried in the ground. And the last word she said to me was, take care of Dad, despite what you've done.
Can't you forgive me? Can't you, after all these years, forgive me? Can't you forgive me?
Dad, I call you Dad. I don't even actually know what your name is. But you've made my heart hollow. But I would not have you do that to my son. And your crocodile tears are not going to wash with me anymore. I'm going upstairs to clean up your bloody room because you can't do it.
Oi, where's Kwame, man?
Tell him Mr. Big.
Oi, Biggs.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's done.
All right.
Let's go.
Do you know, now it says 5 bloody minutes. What is all that noise? Oh, shit! Dad! Dad! What the? Dad! Dad! Wake up! Dad!
Hello, Dad. Dad, what happened?
Dad! I don't bloody know! Call the ambulance and phone to the kitchen, quick!
All right.
Dad, wake up! Dad! Shit!
Come on.
Come on, Dad! Come on, Dad!
Yes,
Wake
my
up!
ambulance. Yes, my granddad, he's just
Let me
collapsed.
call the ambulance!
Yeah, I'm calling it now. My granddad's just collapsed.
Dad,
I
wake
don't know what
up!
happened.
Please, wake up, Dad! I'm sorry!
He just collapsed. The fucking mean he's not breathing. Just get an ambulance now.
Dad! Come on!
Come on. Don't do this. Forget the money.
What money?
Forget the money.
Shit! Dad, come on, wake up, Dad!
It's all your fault.
Granddad,
I don't need this right now. This shit. It's the bigs.
You're not so big now, are you?
No.
Granddad killer!
Oh.
Ring a roses, pocket full of posies.
Businessman.
Wasteman.
Murderer!
You killed your grandfather.
Murderer!
Your
Fit
fault.
for business!
Daddy's a
It's all your fault.
All your fault.
Customer service!
You killed his dad.
You killed Granddad.
Murderer!
Daddy is a killer.
Murderer!
You know what you've done.
Daddy is a
No,
killer.
Oh, we It's all your fault. It's all your You can't go back in time. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault.
Daddy is a
It's all
killer.
your fault.
Daddy is a killer. Daddy is a killer.
Murderer. Admit it. Murderer.
How's your baby? It's all your fault. How you gonna raise your baby? Oh, no. Admit it. You took the money.
Why did you pick the bag up?
You're not such
Why?
a good
Why?
businessman.
Why?
Grandfather's killer. Grandfather's.
Kwame? Who's up?
It's all your fault.
How's business?
You killed your grandfather.
How's business?
It's all your fault.
Daddy.
It's all your fault.
Fuck am I? Like wars all over.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this play has been designed with some problems. There are some blockages, there are some frustrations, there are some issues that need resolving. And like I said at the beginning of the play, we need your help. Because we don't want Kwame to end up in the way that he ended up this evening. Can I just get a show of hands of how many of you think what you've witnessed tonight is realistic? Pretty much nearly everybody. Thank you. These men have come up with this show based on their own experiences of friends, colleagues that they've known, and they have put this show together in this particular way because we wanted to explore particularly black mental health, particularly from a man's point of view. And so this part of the show is what we call the interactive part of the show, where we try to look at the issues and the problems that has been in this show. And with your help, we can begin to explore what might be the alternatives, what might be some ways out that one could help not only oneself if they were in a situation, but also others could learn from your own self about the way that you might intervene. Because when we speak and share, it raises our awareness in some shape or form. Whether you agree with that person or not, we learn other ways. Whether you choose to use that way, down to you. But we learn other ways of how to maybe approach things. So the aim for us tonight, really, at the heart of it, is to explore mental health from a black man's point of view, but also what are the alternatives? What are the other ways that one could navigate through some of the problems that we saw Kwame and some of the other characters experience? And it's with your help tonight that it's imperative to help us find those solutions. So, can I ask you that you will remain committed and involved this evening in the pursuit of finding alternatives? So let's begin that process. So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to either turn to your neighbour left or right of you, behind you or in front of you, and have a short conversation for a minute or two with what's come up for you right now watching the play. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I appreciate your pledge for trying to find a way for us to explore and find some alternatives this evening. I really do appreciate you making that pledge, because we need to learn, all of us here today need to learn more and have the confidence to know that there are other things that one could do if we're exploring some difficulty, where one could go, what one could do, and maybe even seek a professional help. But all of that, we'll find out. So, can I ask and be a bit nosy, maybe not everybody, but just a few people, what they were talking about, what's come up, who'd like to share? And maybe we can get the mic. Would the mic work better if they... Okay. Okay. Nice and loud. So. Remember. Remember, we made a pledge to get involved in the play. We did, didn't we? So this is part of getting involved. And just because he's up here, you may be up here next. So, can we give him a round of applause for coming up?
Thank you, thank you. I have to hold in my stomach whilst I stand up here now. That's the problem. You know what? First of all, thank you guys for what you've done. I mean, it's really fantastic. So thank you. I mean, a few of us I know have travelled quite far to come up. So really want to support what you're doing. I think it's good. It's needed. Okay, so I'll try and make it quick. The first statement I'll say is, what came first, chicken or the egg? And the reason why I say that is because the discussion we were having was what we picked out from your play was there was a moment when Kwame identified that he was going to do it by himself. And I think there's an issue of men, and specifically black men, so there's two layers we discussed, get to this position where they get so frustrated that they just naturally want to take on the world by themselves. And as we all know, it's difficult. It's difficult being a human being trying to do things by yourself. It's difficult being a man trying to do things by yourself. And the third layer is difficult being a black man, in the society that we're in, trying to do things by yourself. And where the reason why I said the chicken or the egg sounds a bit crazy, but why that is, I don't know. And we can have arguments about why we've got to that position. But the reality is that where we stand today, the pressure is to try and do it by ourselves, and it doesn't work. At best, it causes a lot of us to go down risky routes, which you've identified in your play. At worst, it causes a lot of us to be in mental health hospitals. I mean, I used to work in the mental health sector for a while, and there's a lot of black guys. There's a lot of black guys in prison for the same. More so for the stress and the mental health aspect of trying to do things by themselves, not wanting to talk to their communities, whether it's their women, whether it's their sisters, their brothers, uncles, grandparents, as you put in. So I think the reality is, if there's anything that, in repeat, that we picked out from your play, it's just this overwhelming, feeling of having to try and do things by yourself, and you know what, that was the old way of thinking. It doesn't work. So we just have to think outside of the box somehow. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, let's give it up. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't catch your name, brother. Richard, nice to meet you. Thank you, Richard. Anybody else wants to share what came up for you in your discussion? Anybody else? Remember that pledge you made about being committed and involved to exploring this topic for us this evening. And we're all family, aren't we? We're all here. We all know each other now. We all got a bit kind of... Was there? Well, I'm sure... Yes. Brother, would you like to come up? Can we, yeah. What's your name, sir? Dale, nice to meet you.
Thank you. What we spoke about was, of course, the pressure on black men, which allowed all three generations to have issues. And the issues have not been addressed across generations, so that's at least a span of 50 years. So what progress was made within 50 years? We saw the grandfather, he would have had one set of pressures. He mentioned the Windrush generation. Those of us who have, probably for most of us, it's either our parents or grandparents who were in that sort of generation. We've probably been told the stories of what happened to them. So there was pressure, the frustration. All of them were trying to live up to an image of a man that society, whatever tells them should be, and for different reasons, they all failed. And that brought pressure. And they all tried in different ways to cope with the pressure and deliver what was expected of them. And at different stages in their lives, they obviously failed and it took its toll. Either gambling in the older generation, or we could see with the young that it was try and do it at all costs. And those expectations are not being equipped to cope with what's expected of you led to the series of problems. We spoke about how as a society, £2,000 is not a huge amount of money. But they weren't equipped to have the options to get the £2,000 and make their dreams come true. And as Richard said, that made some dubious decisions within the younger generation. The grandfather coped with it by drinking, gambling. Maybe it was his way of coping and helping. The young person got set up but turned potentially to a criminal activity. But really it reflects where we are as a community, that even if you have an idea and the drive and the vision and you've been planning, we're not equipped. And as a society, we can't support each other to raise what's relatively small sum of £2,000 to allow someone to explore their dream. And that therefore led to a whole load of issues. So that's what we spent. So from my perspective, as a community, yes, we need to help each other more. We need to educate ourselves in where to go. Some communities could do it within the community, and there are options, but if we're not educated and we don't know where to go for the options, that leads to the perpetuation of something, and which is why maybe as a community we haven't moved forward as much as we could have when compared to people who came to this country with less than we had, or certainly no more, haven't been there as long, but have managed to move on. So.
Thank you so much. Just give me a round of applause. Thank you. I believe life is a balance, and it might be good to get another perspective from a different gender. Just because life is a balance, and we need balance in our community, in our world, in times of trouble. I think nature knows the balance. So would you agree that it might be useful to hear? Yeah? So if there's anybody that wants to honor that pledge they made earlier about being committed and involved to explore these important issues we all somehow relate, connect, and identify with. Thank you. Because we're all family here. We're all family. We're all family. We are family. Everybody's going to be feeling a bit like you, not really wanting to come up, but, just to speak what your truth for yourself. Thank you very much. Good evening. What's your name? Jackie. Jacinth. Nice to meet you.
I'm so sorry. Good evening. Shush.
We're amongst family, yes?
Yeah, it is. not embarrassing my son, but it's something that I've gone through, something that I'm going through, and I find the support for the black boys non-existent. If you don't fight, you don't get it. You have to scream, you have to shout to actually be heard, because it's like, you're a black lady, get on with it, or where's the dad? And come on to where's the dad. From a lady's point of view, sometimes the men doesn't step up. It is about, you've got your mom can look after you. We can look after our sons, but you need to actually raise that son to be the man that you are and exceed you. But a lot of us are having to grow our own son, even the dad's there, because the dad is so busy doing something else. But he's forgotten that, you know what, there's a son there. Not just about shaving, it's about how society will see him. I've always said to my son, from the day you were born, there's 2 strikes against you. You're a boy and you're black, right? And said, that's what it is, you will be stopped, and whatever. He went through a stage, sorry, I'm gonna go on, he went through a stage where he had some issues, and one of the teachers said to me, that's okay, he's a black boy, he just wanna go and roam the street. You know, and I think, I stood up and I went, right, let's go home, because if I answer her, I'm gonna rip her head off. You know, that's how passionate it is. Mental health is quite passionate to me, because I've seen it, I've worked with children, I've watched them gone through it, and you'll say to the dad, something is off. But as a black culture, we're so afraid of the word mental illness. We won't address it, we brush it under, the child is just rude. We don't want to know, and I think we need to embrace it. We need to acknowledge it exists. You know, it is there. We need to teach our young ones that we may not have the money, but a bank do. Don't be afraid to walk into a bank and sit in front of the manager and ask for a loan. We don't teach our children that. We lend our money within the families, which then create problems. But the bank's there. Teach them that, you know what, you've got a job, put your suit on, sit in front of the bank manager and say, I would like to borrow, and see where it takes you. Because if you can only say yes or no, you know, and that's all it took. But we don't have that. We don't push our children to do that, because it's about keeping it within the family. And if you step outside and ask a bank for help, you're not man. They are still men. You know, it's just going a different way. And that's just me.
Thank you so much, Justine. Let's give her a round of applause. So, thank you for sharing those concerns that you were talking about. We're going to ramp up the interactivity and your involvement and your pledge into this show. I'm going to ask you one more time to go back to those groups that you were thinking about talking with just a minute ago. But this time, I'm going to ask you to think of one scene that resonates with you. Out of all the other scenes, it may be one scene. There may be 2, but ideally one scene that really, for whatever reason for you, resonates with you. So in your discussions, you're going to pick one scene for you personally, not the others in your group, but just your own scene, and it may agree with others in your group, it may be different. But you're going to share that scene, and with that scene that you've identified, you're going to think of an idea of what you would do if you were in that situation. And you're going to share your idea, or if we're lucky, ideas with the other party members in your group. So, a couple of tasks. 1, pick the scene that resonates with you. Tell that to the others in your group and say why you've picked that scene. Follow that up by saying, this is my idea I would try out if I was in that situation. Whether that was Kwame or the dad or this or whoever it was, you're going to say your idea to those in that group so that they learn and become aware of your strategy, your tactic, what you may do differently. And that begins our learning and awareness raising, because you're having that personal discussion about the viewpoints on the difficulties. So, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. 1, pick the scene, tell them why you picked that scene. And 2, come up with your idea for how you would deal with that situation actively if you were in that situation. Give you a few minutes, off you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The conversation tells me that there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of appetite, there's a lot of ideas in the room. So can I just get a raise of hands who have got ideas for what they would do if they were in that situation? So let's call it an intervention. Can I just get a raise of hands of how many people who thought of some interventions? Raise your hand. So we've got 1, that can't be, 1.5, look like 1.5, that's Come on, family. Let's raise these hands. Can we see the hands up, please? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 7 hands there. So there's about 7 interventions. So we're going to ramp up this commitment and involvement and your learning in this activity. So we've got about 7 ideas. Theatre is a place where sometimes we can try out our ideas without being in the real world. Because sometimes if we try out our ideas in the real world, they might be very successful. And sometimes they won't be successful. But a safe place, often, is to do it with family and friends who support you, who understand you, sometimes, not all the time. But certainly to try things out in a playful, fun, and an experiential learning way, we can do that. So it sounds like we've got at least 6 ideas on how you think some of this material that you've seen could be changed, could be done in a way that lessens the problem, reduces the problem, removes the problem, unblocks it, makes it unstuck, makes it seem doable, whatever that is. But we'll find out personally from you. But we've got about 6 or 7 ideas. So, I said we're going to ramp up the ideas. So really, what we are really asking for, and because we know that we're amongst family here and you've made your pledge to be involved, we're going to see some of those ideas in action. So it essentially means that we want to see them being played out, because that's one of the ways that we can really analyze and look at the inquiry of how one is intervening. What is working? What is not working? What is the strategy? What is the tactic? And we can discuss that and make our own choices. Oh, that's a wonderful idea. I might use that in the future. Or, oh, that's not for me. Whatever your decision is, by the end of maybe getting through the 6 or 7 ideas, you'll all come away with more awareness. Yes? So it's bound to be a good thing. Whatever happens. Yes? Or do you disagree? Agree. We're bound to just learn from each other. Whether you kind of go, oh yeah, I wouldn't do that, no, that's not me, or you like the idea that someone's proposing, it's something that when it comes to it in the future, you could draw upon it. And sometimes in drama, because you've kind of done it, the body remembers. The brain and the body kind of go hand in hand. If you have a discussion, we might remember, oh, I talked about that once upon a time, many, many years ago, and I said this and I said that. But sometimes if you do the action, there's a stronger memory that leaves in the brain and the body. So we're kind of, and we also, all of us here want to be entertained, don't we? Yes, sir. Definitely wanted to be entertained. So we want to see as many of those ideas as possible in the next half an hour. So we've got 7 people, 6 or 7 people that's rearing to go, I understand. So can we have the first contestant who wants to try out their idea? Come on now. Come on now. I've done the speech, I've done the whole thing. Okay. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm all right.
What's your name?
Fumi.
Fumi. Can everyone give Fumi a round of applause? So, Fumi, I understand you come up here to try out your idea.
Well, I didn't raise up my hand, so.
And we are all supporting Fumi, aren't we? Yeah. You see that? So, you've come to work through some of the problems, some of the blockages, some of the frustrations, some of the things that you saw in this play that is a problem. And you've come up here to kind of work through them with your idea, yes?
Yes.
Which scene would you like to explore?
Seeing as I came late, I started off from I think it was the intergenerational bit, but I would prefer to start from I'm not sure if it was the phone call bit where he was like being drawn left and right. So
Yeah, the phone call, and there was people, girlfriend, his dad, and
yes,
Mr.
yes,
Biggs. That
awesome.
scene.
Yes,
Okay, that's the scene that you'd like to try out and work through.
I will try that.
Okay, which character would you like to play?
The main character is the
Kwame.
G, you know?
Fantastic.
The main character.
Can we
you know?
give this a round of applause? So for me, what we're going to do now, we're going to rewind that scene and play it out. And the original Kwame will be sitting down watching, and you're going to be Kwame. And as in life, when we are a fictional character, we can't forget or ignore any of the character traits that we know about the character. So all of a sudden, we can't just become Superman and or whatever. We can't do that because that's not what the character was that we met. Anything in the future the character invents, yes. But the baggage that has been written about the character, or we understand about the character, what we've discovered and learned about the character remains true about him. So, what we're going to do, we're going to start that scene. You want to start from the beginning? Would that work for you? Of that scene, or somewhere in the middle, or it's up to you. Your choice.
It's like freestyling, like solo.
Yeah. Where do you want it to start from? The beginning, or in the middle, or towards the end?
Probably towards the end.
Probably towards the end.
Yeah, let's just get down to the climax.
Yeah? Let's just get down to the climax. So, let's give for me a round of applause. We're going to play the scene where the girlfriend and the dad and Mr. Biggs are ramping up the pressure on Kwame. They are ramping up the pressure on Kwame, and we're going to watch to see Fumi's amazing idea on, and don't forget, we are supportive of him, yes? No matter what happens, we're supporting him all the way. So, just before we begin, the way we're going to start to support Fumi, I'm just going to demonstrate and then we'll do it. We're going to kind of slap our knees very softly or hard. 1, 2, 3, action, and then the scene will start. Just to give Fumi that extra support that he needs. Are we ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3, action!
Yo, son. Don't cut me off this time, yeah? I've got something to say to you. Are you listening, please, yeah? I've just come out of the doctor's surgery and I've got some bad news that I've got...
What are you saying?
I've got cancer, son.
Sorry, what?
I've got prostate cancer, son.
Just hold on.
No, don't put on hold again.
I've got another call, man.
Answer the phone. Kwame, are you there?
No, I'm not. Someone else.
Kwame, I can hear you. Are you having an affair?
No, it's not me.
What do you mean it's not you?
Nah.
What do you mean it's not Kwame? I'm pregnant. It's your baby.
Sorry, it's a bad connection. I'll get back to you, no worries.
Kwame, I don't want to be a single mother.
Sorry, what? I'm sorry.
Kwame, don't you
I'm
dare...
saying something out, alright? Yeah, okay, I'll call you back, no worries.
Hello! Hey, don't muck about with me, you know.
Oh, no.
You know me?
I'm always...
Where's my money? Where's my money?
See, when these things work, you know...
Don't work nothing. You just need to work for my money.
You have plans, but
I don't care about your plans. I want my money.
You know, we got free...
You came to me for money. I gave you the money.
Listen.
Where's my money?
Listen.
Don't talk that. You got 24 hours.
We got theory.
No, 24 hours.
Yo.
See, we got theory.
You got 24 hours.
Dad, are you
Where's
there?
my money?
Dad.
Where's my money?
Dad.
Don't lie to me. Don't rap.
Dad.
Where's my money?
Dad.
Where's my money?
Dad.
Where's my
Come on,
money?
listen, help me.
Where's my money? Where's my money?
Talk to me, Dad.
Where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money? Freeze! How's he doing? No. How's he doing? How's he doing? Let's go.
I use humor just to...
Can I say he was doing avoidance?
They'd like to know how you got on, how you felt that you got on dealing with that.
Well, I personally... I don't like to admit it, but I was depressed once. It was my first year in uni, and like, I'm Nigerian. Yes, I'm Nigerian. And generally, growing up, you just thought, you know, education, education, education. That's like, everyone sort of knows. Going to my first year, it was calm. You always go for the reputable money-grabbing jobs like law. So obviously I got into law at Canterbury, and everything seemed fine. It was good, but I sort of went into myself, and long and short of it, I was referred to like someone. I'm not sure about the terms, but someone who's going to like sort of talk to you and go through stuff. Yes. And before I knew it, they gave me antidepressants. I overdosed on them. I sort of felt worthless. I was in a bad way, so I generally, am I going in too deep now? So long and short of it, I was suicidal. That's just it. I'm a happy, yeah, I know. I'm generally happy-go-lucky and all that. You know, I try to be jovial, crack jokes, but I always find out that people who probably tend to make others laugh and feel good about themselves when they're in their closed doors, you know, on their own, they always sort of get into their own minds and feel a bit lonely. So I kind of did that. It got really bad that my mom had to call the police in Kent, because I was in Kent, and they literally came to my room and started saying, call your mom, like it was that serious. I was like, I lost so much weight because I was like binge eating, so I wasn't eating properly. Sometimes I won't eat for long periods. I'll just be in my room and all that kind of stuff. But what I feel, and I felt like maybe I couldn't really show, is the support system you've got. Obviously, I'm religious, so I'm not here to preach, but like, find your sort of inner peace. Because one of my friends over there was talking about the bit where it's like no questions asked. If you're finding yourself in that sort of situation of no questions asked, then you need to ask questions. Because if you don't ask questions, then you're the dodo, you know? You're the fool, because you're getting into a position where things are going to get more serious. And if you can double back, I'm Kwame, I'm holding that bag. I'll be like, you know what, I'm stepping out. It's never that easy, of course. When we need money, we need it. And then, you know, we have the blinkers on. We just keep riding for the end goal and not thinking of the consequences. And I feel that's what we should try to do. Try to evaluate the consequences of our actions, not just for us, but those connected to us. Even if we don't feel their appreciation because they can't give us what we want, we still need to consider them wherever it is we do so. Yep.
Hang on. Hands up. Any of you relate, connect, and identify with what Fumi was talking about? Look at that, Fumi. They understand. Yeah?
Appreciate it.
They understand. Look, more hands are going up. More hands, look, more hands are going up.
Knowing that you're good at for me.
No, I plan to explore it.
Can we give them a round of applause? Come on, thank you very much. Thank you, take care. So we've just seen that intervention, and it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy, but we are learning, and we've learnt from that intervention how hard and difficult it is. It's not easy. So I just want to big up for me again. Let's give him one more round of applause. So I believe that's about, 6 or 7 out of, 1 down, 6 or 7 to go. And we're learning, yes? Yeah, we are learning, yeah. So, does anybody else have an idea? It could be the same scene, or it could be a different scene. Good evening. Hi, how you doing?
I was okay.
What's your name?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie. Nice to meet you, Anne-Marie. Okay. Tell us, you've come up here to kind of work through some stuff.
I didn't come, I was taken.
But we all got Anne-Marie, yes? Yes. You're amongst family. You've made the pledge.
Yes.
I know what you must be feeling, but you know.
You don't.
Well, I have done something similar.
Okay.
But maybe I don't know exactly what you're feeling, but I just want to know that, I want to say that I believe you're amongst family and we've all got you. So maybe there's something that you might want to work through. Is there a particular scene for you that resonates for you that you feel that you could try out? Something that you feel that you'd want to explore?
Do you know, for me personally, I thought about the psychosis side of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to act it out. So.
Well, you may not have to act it out.
Okay,
it's
good.
about saying or doing what you feel is right for you when that's happening. Because that's your choice. And what we want to support you by is you trying out your idea, whatever that is.
Okay.
And that, even if it just means you meditating, that's completely fine. Whatever it is, it does not matter. We're not here to judge, we're here to learn. Is that right? That's right. Amen.
Okay, so for me,
yes,
when things get tough for me, because of my age now, I've a few years. 29. Thanks.
29, come on.
Okay, so for me, because of past experiences, I'm not as hot-headed as I was, okay? So I will go into my shell a little bit. I might cry a lot. And then I will talk to somebody. There are people in my life that I can pick up the phone or think about, and they'll call me.
Okay.
So that's where I am. I've gone through a lot, so I'm able to deal with things a lot better. But that's just me. And I surround myself with people that I trust. So thank you for not making me act this out.
Okay. That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I wonder if I could not invite you back up, but I wonder whether you chose the scene where you said something about the psychosis. And I wonder, and you can tell us, no, that's not where I'm at, and that's what I'm not going to do, but I wonder whether if we were to revisit that scene, you may be able to tell one of the actors what to do. You may not have to, you may not want to, but I'm just wondering if that might be a way that we could explore that scene. So there's a bit of a distance, perhaps, so that you're almost, informing, instructing, telling, sharing, obviously not bribing, but, informing the character what they could do, what they should do. And that can come in any shape or form. And I just wondered if that would be okay. We don't have to do it, but I wanted to lean into that to see if there was any mileage. Would that be all right? So, we're going to revisit the final scene where we believe the psychosis is taking hold of Kwame. And I'm just wondering how we might do that. We could we could give her the mic. We could listen out for what the words or phrases might be, and we repeat them. I don't know how we're going to do it. She could give Kwame advice, absolutely. Whatever feels appropriate and safe for you, we want to see what we could do. I suppose the only thing is, when we do the scene, and if there is sort of no intervention, that's equally fine as well. If Kwame starts off and ends up in the same place as he did in the scene, that's equally fine as well. So, can we see that final scene, please? Where Kwame's experiencing the psychosis. Just a little, just a brief, just cook it up a little bit, and then we'll see what is there. And if there's any other audience members who would like to suggest something, what I'd like you to do is to come up and stand close. Sorry, what was your name again? Stand close to Anne-Marie, because then that tells Anne-Marie you equally understand, relate, and identify with what's going on. So if you feel you want to support Anne-Marie, please come and stand by her. If you want to suggest some words or phrases or even do something else by coming in and doing something, do it. But at the very first point, please support Anne-Marie. Okay, so where should it start from, Anne-Marie, the scene?
I can't remember what.
His granddad's collapsed, and he saw the message from pigs on the wall, so he's just like, what happened?
He's been overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
He realizes the people he owes money to are there.
Okay.
They want to come to his house, they come sort of back. But really, he's done it
Because of what's happened.
He created this mess.
Okay. So where it got to when everybody's surrounding you,
Yeah.
right? You don't talk, do you?
No, I'm just like,
He didn't say much. But he can do. You can tell him to say something.
Yeah, I know. I realize I don't want you to talk.
Okay. All right.
Right? Okay.
The voices just get louder.
Yeah.
Let's go from that scene where you're going through your psychosis. Let's start from there.
is it when I'm on my knees or?
Yeah, I think you were down, I think.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's stand by. Brothers and sisters, we need to pay attention and focus.
I want you to be like,
This
you
is
know when you're
a real
just
reenactment
praying
coming
and
to
looking
life.
up
And again,
and
if you
asking
want
for
to
help
support
praying,
Anne-Marie
that's
and
where I want
people,
you to be.
please come up
Okay.
here
So when
and
everybody's
suggest something,
down on you,
perhaps stand
right,
close to
you're
Anne-Marie
like, first of
to
all,
share
you're down in your hands, right?
intervention.
And then you've got to feel something, lift yourself up. Hands up, heads up.
So like this.
Yeah, and rise, and then simply walk away after a while. There.
And again, we're learning. We are learning here. Okay, so let's stand by. We're going to count them in by doing the 1, 2, 3, and then the clap. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Action.
Granddad Killer! It's your fault! It's your fault! It's your fault!
So Kwame, start feeling,
Your fault! Where's your business?
start to rise.
How is business?
Yes.
Big man. Granddad stand.
Feel the inner strength.
Ain't coming back. It's your fault. It's your fault. New York, ain't going nowhere. Come back down. Come back down.
Break free.
Where you going, Kwame? Where you going? Where you going?
Slowly walk away.
Have a conversation with each other. Let's hear what that was like for you two. Have a conversation.
How did it feel?
It felt good. It felt very good. Yeah. It was different as well. I liked it. I liked it as well. I like new ideas as well.
Okay.
So, you know, the whole with the straight jacket thing I was doing, that was just, you know, basically it's like basically what that scene is, I'll explain it as well. So basically it's just it's hard to explain. It's like, you know, it's there, like they're all around me, and then obviously it's like a fade.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a fade, but it's like a fade, and then it fades, and then obviously it's like he wakes up, and then he's in a straight jacket, and then he's in this, you know, white room.
Yeah.
So that's basically, all alone. So that's basically what I was trying to put out and, you know, use everyone's imagination.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it was.
Okay, so I just wanted you to find your inner strength, right, and break free from the madness, the chaos, okay?
Yeah.
And you can do that. I mean, there's people around you that can help you, but I think if you find it within yourself, then you can handle a lot more in life, whatever life throws at you, or anybody else.
Yeah,
So that's where I was coming from.
yeah. That was lovely.
All right.
I loved it. Big up Anne-Marie.
So Anne-Marie talked about, if I'm not mistaken, inner strength. Is that right, Anne-Marie? How many people understand and relate and connect to identify with inner strength in times of need? Is that something that we can draw upon when we're in these difficult times? Anne-Marie, you're not alone. People relate to that, I think, and understand that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so that's 2 out of 6 or 7 to go. We want to see some more. Do you want some more entertainment? Yes. Do you want some more entertainment? Yes. Do you want some more entertainment? Yes. Oh, wow. Are we doing more harm by really peer pressuring people to get up here? No? Are we okay? I'm just checking. Good evening. How are you?
Good, thanks.
What's your name?
Ray.
Ray. Nice to meet you, Ray.
Nice to meet you too.
I understand you've been peer pressured to come up here and
Indeed, I've been peer pressured.
work through some stuff that you feel you've got an idea that you mind trying out.
Yeah, sure.
We don't really want to know what it is because we're going to see it in a moment. But why have you come up?
That's a good question. why have I come up? That's a good question.
Peer pressuring you.
No, I mean, I feel like what you guys are doing here is really good. Obviously, mental health, speaking about black men's mental health, it's a good thing to sort of discuss and be a part of. So I'm happy to be here, guys, honestly. So, yeah.
Good. Okay, so what's the scene that you want to work through?
Let's work through the psychosis episode, I guess.
Same one?
Yeah, we could do the same one.
Do you want to go from exactly the same point or somewhere before or after?
So I'm happy for you guys to act it out, and then I can talk in my suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So you're going to talk to Kwame during it? Or,
I'll talk to Kwame. So what we'll do, we'll act it out, and then we'll do like a freeze frame, and then I'll come in and I'll talk.
Well, whatever your idea is, we want to be entertained. So, okay, so let's come back to the psychosis scene, and we're going to watch and learn. So, actors, are we ready? Come on. We haven't got time to waste. They want to be entertained. Come on, quickly. Come on. They want to be entertained. Get to it. Get to it. Just get to your position. Okay, so let's count them in. 1, 2, 3. Hold up. Some dead stuff coming up, man. For my family, man. I want to hear the vibration to support them and him and everybody. Right. 1, 2, 3. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. He's not coming back. Uber Eats. What business? Why? Where is it? Tony, why? Why? The juice boss. Why? It's your fault. Why did you pick up the bag? Why did you pick up the bag? Where's the Uber Eats? How's the business going? You're not good enough. How is it? How's it going, mate? Granddad's dead, you know. You caused this yourself. Oh, no, yeah. It's a shame you can't go back in time. Freeze.
Oh, hanging. Yeah. What's up, guys? So yeah, in this scene, you can see Kwame obviously experiencing an episode of psychosis, having some quite negative thoughts. I think the scene's quite interesting because you can obviously see Kwame is quite distressed. Obviously hearing several thoughts. I think what's important in this scene is that a good takeaway point is that I guess no one is exempt to mental health, and we all sort of suffer from it in some sort of way. So obviously you can see that Kwame is having an episode of psychosis, but sometimes you may not be necessarily sort of experiencing an episode of psychosis. You could be just either stressed or depressed, as sort of previously discussed by someone on the stage. I think what Kwame would benefit from is potentially having someone to talk to. It would be really good. In times like this, someone to perhaps message when he is feeling a bit down. If you can't necessarily sort of access a mental health service, it would be good to speak to a close friend perhaps, or a close family. I think it's important to sort of understand that in situations like this, it's okay, and sometimes episodes do pass. Just out of context, I used to work in a mental health service, so I used to work with social workers and sort of mental health practitioners, and we used to assess people within the community. So sometimes seeing scenes like this isn't yeah. So I think what's important for Kwame is just to know that, you know, it's okay to reach out to people if you need that support, and also that everyone handles their sort of mental health differently. So potentially, if he doesn't necessarily want to reach out to someone, then, you know, it's okay to reach out when he's ready. He shouldn't feel sort of pressured in any way. And I think just going back to the intersectionality between, you know, sort of mental health and black men, I think it's okay to sort of for Kwame not necessarily to be sort of weak, but to be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. You know, whether you're black, white, whatever, man, woman, you know, vulnerability is okay. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing Kwame in a vulnerable state. And I think, yeah, and I think once these episodes do pass, it's okay for Kwame to sort of reach out, speak to a friend, you know, access a mental health service if that's what he chooses to do so. The support is there for him. And obviously, just going back to the other scene with the scene when he was on the phone to his girlfriend or whatnot, sometimes it's okay to sort of just check out. I feel like, especially in today's society, we're quite sort of plugged in with everything, and we feel like we need to appease everyone. We need to make everyone happy. Life isn't about that. You know, at the end of the day, you've got one life to live. So I think it's okay to say no to sometimes to people. You don't have to make everyone happy. You can say no to people. The world is not going to end. Yeah.
Great. So, hang on. So that's great. That's a really, really great advice. I really love it. And essentially what I'm picking up is that Kwame could talk to somebody, or should talk to somebody, if he chooses to, in those moments. And sometimes, if he chooses not to, there are implications based on that. So I'm wondering, for us to learn and discover more, I wonder if we could see a scene between Kwame seeking advice. 2 chairs on the stage, please, quickly. And I wondered if Kwame could come and see someone like yourself and see what you might say or do for Kwame going through his own psychosis. Because we want to be entertained and we want to learn a bit more, yeah? So I just wondered if I can put you under that pressure.
And I would like a helper, someone from the Best family, please. Yeah, either Joel, Joshua, Auntie Mary, and Uncle, one of you, please.
So tell us a little bit about this context. Where are we? Where is this? Where is this taking place?
This could be like a sort of community mental health sort of team, I guess.
Okay, and Kwame's come in, and he's come in to ask for some advice because he's paused on his psychosis. Yeah, he's either going to deal with what's going on here and get some support and advice, or if he feels like it's not working, he's going to go back to his previous scene, the psychosis. So it's quite an important scene, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
So there's a lot at stake. Yeah. Is there a lot at stake?
Yeah.
You got a question, sir?
No, I was just going to say, the scene where Anne-Marie was saying, you know, when you put your hands up and you sort of walked away, I would have said that would follow what we just before this to say, well, I've had enough, I need help, I'm going somewhere to sit down to see somebody.
Yes. So we're kind of seeing it now. Thank you, that's a really good idea. So do you want to take a seat how you might be? Do you need a clipboard or something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? There's a clipboard at the back, right on the back end of the chair. Can you run and get a clipboard for me right in the corner? There's a clipboard and a pen. Got to make it all cold and clinical, or is it nice and warmly you're shaking your head. Tell us about that. Right. But he needs a clipboard, he said. That's what he said, he needs a clipboard. He said he needs a clipboard. Does that make the person feel more welcoming when there's a clipboard writing down notes? We're getting a lot of no's about that. I just wondered how you felt about that. People are sort of saying we're not really feeling the clipboard and writing down notes, but you think it's a good idea. You're here to support. He's here to support. He's trying his best, but generally the audience are saying they're not really feeling the clipboard. No. You do what you feel is right for you. Okay, so let's count them in. Come on. 1, 2, 3, action.
Not too good at all. I mean, you know, I'm expecting a child soon, so, you know, I was really, a lot's been going on, just a whole heap of stuff.
Congrats on your baby. Sounds like good baby in the way.
That's the only good thing, but at the same time it's stressful because my girl, she saw this 900-pound cot in mother care, and the cot's nice, don't get me wrong, but I don't have that sort of money at the moment. I was close to getting that money, but then, you know, a lot happened. I don't want to go into detail because it will just put me back, you know.
No, I understand. So it seems to me that, you know, like I said, you've been struggling with something finance being one of those aspects. So for baby, how are you feeling in regards to gearing up towards preparing for the child?
Nervous, stressed, overwhelmed. Overwhelmed is the word, you know. Also, I've been hearing the holy voices. On top of that, you know, saying kill yourself, saying why did you do that? I feel responsible for my grandfather's death. My grandfather's heart attack. I feel responsible for that. I feel responsible for the house getting trashed, and I owe some very serious people money on top of that. So it's a sticky situation. But I know there's a way. I know there's some. You know, I feel like I'm being tested. You know, by, you know, the big man upstairs. I feel like I'm being tested by the big man upstairs, trying to break me, trying to, you know, kick my ass and stamp me out, you know. But I know there's this. I know somewhere there's a tiny bit of hope there that's just telling me, no, you're better than this, you're bigger than this. You know?
Okay, just freeze a minute. So let's just check in. One thing I need to ask you, is there progress? Yes. Hands up for yes. And thank you. And hands up who are thinking, well, not so much. Hands up for those who...
It's okay to disagree.
No, I didn't know. It wasn't there. We get any ifs? What are the implications here in terms of Kwame going back to the psychosis, or Kwame going forward and not dealing with psychosis at the end of this? Do you believe it's going to be positively shouldn't revisit based on what you've seen and heard so far? Or do you feel Kwame is going to end up back in the same position as he was after this? Just what are your feelings? Give us your gut feelings.
We're definitely moving forward. And the reason moving forward is that he's acknowledging the situation. So that's the very first step. The acknowledgement means that he can now make a step towards action.
Yes.
In the positive or the affirmative, as long as he's got the support. And it sounds like he's got an open and receptive mind as it relates to receiving that help.
Good. Anyone else want to add to that?
Yeah, no, totally agree. But you know, the idea is goals as well. It's like goal setting. So what I haven't heard at the moment is clarity on what he now can do to solve some of these problems.
Okay. Hang on, slow down, sir. Slow down. Give him a charge.
You said.
I'm only teasing. So should we watch some more and see what happens?
Yeah.
Okay, let's count them in. 1, 2, 3. Continue where you left off.
Well, I just want to say, Kwame, I think it's a big step for you coming here today to access the service and talk some things through. Just want you to know that with things like mental health, it's a condition that we all sort of suffer from. We all fall on the spectrum to some sort of degree. So I just want you to know that wherever you are sort of experiencing sort of now, these things are okay. And you can, come and talk to us about it, and we'll be happy to support you. I think in terms of your current situation, I think with your baby on the way, I think that is your baby's coming on the way, and I think it's good that you're correct that you should be sort of forward thinking in terms of preparation, but that there are sort of services out there that you can access should you need sort of further support, and I want you to know that you shouldn't be alone. At any time you need to talk to someone, you should reach out to, and if you wish to talk to someone, you should reach out to your families, your friends, and if you feel like it's something that you can't disclose to your families or friends.
Family, forget it. No, I am not. I can't reach out to family. Family let me down. Like they will say, oh, you're not depressed. You're not depressed. You're not depressed. You're a boy. You're a man. How are you depressed? That's what they will say to me. That is what they will say to me. You're not depressed. Or they will say, depressed for what? Depressed for what? That's what they will say. Depressed for what? And then you're just thinking, and then, you walk off because you're thinking, why bother? They ain't gonna listen. And then friends, they're just gonna say, man up, fam. Yo, man, bro, what the fuck? What are you crying for? That's what they will say. So friends and family, out. Yeah. Oh no, I can't talk to them. I think the close.
There 1 second. How many people relate to what Kwame's talking about there, about not talking about friends and family? Hands up if you kind of, got a hand up, the young man up there, and here, quite a few people are putting their hand up. Why is that? Someone was mentioning it earlier about, I can't remember who someone talked about, yes.
Cultural.
Yes, cultural, yes. And how it's this taboo because we haven't been comfortable from we were so high talking about this stuff.
The older generations are not educated enough to know about mental health because the very mental health means that you're right. And that's all they say. So it's very hard to actually tap into the older generation for that.
Can we just give them a round of applause? Thank you. Is everybody all right? Yeah. Yeah, are we learning? We're discovering? We're enjoying? We're good? So, maybe there's this one chance just for one more intervention that we might see before we finally do our final part of the evening. But is there one more idea that we might want to see? Maybe a different scene? Or the dynamic between the dad and the granddad. Wow. So, good evening. How are you? What's your name? Let's get a mic for you. Cheyenne?
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. So, there's a scene that you want to work through and try out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the scene, the intergenerational scene between the Kwame, his dad, his granddad.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to play that scene. And which character would you like to play?
The dad.
You'd like to play the dad? Of course, no problem. So, can we have Grandad and Kwame on stage? And where would you like that scene to start from?
When we find out when he's had the affair with one of the women.
From that moment when he find out that we learn that he's had the affair. Yes, Kwame and Grandad. And there's a chair there for you. Kwame, I don't know if you've got a chair. Do we need a chair for Kwame?
I think it's just these. Yeah.
The moment where we learn about the affair, that's where we want to go from. Sure. Yes? Mm-hmm. Let's count them down. 3, 2, 1, action!
There's just so much stuff that you've done throughout the years, and I haven't had the chance to try and talk to you about it. You already know how I feel, but I just want to know, why did you do this?
Why I did what, Kwame?
You already knew what you did. You already know the problems that you've caused in this family. But that's the issue. You know it and I don't. So explain to me, what made you do these things?
Okay, Kwame, I'd like you to be a bit more... Kwame, I'd like you to be a bit more specific. You said that there are problems. Can you highlight one or two that I might be able to respond to?
Why did you cheat on Grandma?
Okay. You want to know why? Okay. Grandma and myself, we came over here in the early 50s, part of the Windrush. You know about the Windrush experience? Mm-hmm. So really and truly, we were looking to build a foundation. And it really meant that we had to work around the clock. The social support network wasn't great at the time. Yes, we had a few other relatives that came over, but it's a lonely experience. And I was under pressure on occasions at work, in society, feeling consciously black, kind of feeling emasculated as well, and I didn't always want to come and feel that I could share all of that with your grandma. I'm not saying it was the right thing for me to do, and you know, other people were around, and this particular lady, she worked in the same place, and there was an emotional kind of attraction, and we used to sit and talk, and one thing led to the other, and that's what's happened, really.
I understand all of that, but did you ever stop to think about the effect that that would have on Dad?
No, to be honest, sometimes you're just living in the moment, and you want to block out anything that's going to counter that immediate desire and gratification, and to be quite honest, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it.
Well, the past is in the past now, and we're currently in the present, so what can we do now? Because Dad, even though he is really angry at you, like, you know he still loves you, so where do we go now?
I'm glad to hear that from you. As you can appreciate, it's not an easy thing for a grandfather to have to say to his grandson. It's going to be a journey. Obviously, it's going to be a journey, and I'm willing to go on that journey of reconciliation, and it's a journey, and hopefully your dad will be willing to go on that journey with me.
Well, thank you for talking to me, and hopefully in the future you two can both sit down and have a conversation about it.
Thank you, grandson.
How was that?
I feel like a lot of issues, they get like swept under the carpet, and you kind of get used to like the pain or trauma, and it kind of goes down from generation to generation. But you kind of get normalized to it, whereas it's as simple as sitting down and having a conversation sometimes and trying to understand the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
So I kind of related to the dynamic between the dad and the granddad, and even Kwame as well.
Yeah.
Especially growing up, I grew up with my mum being both mum and dad. And I kind of resented him all those years, but sometimes it just takes a conversation to find out why he wasn't in your life, or like whatever issues he might have encountered, and the reason why he wasn't there.
Sure.
So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. So the post-it notes are coming round, and we hopefully you've got a pen. We've got a question that we'd like you to write down on the post-it note. The question is, and this is a personal question that you're going to answer. Don't share your ideas. Well, you could do afterwards. They're not important. But what we want to know is, what do you do that helps you personally with your mental health? You can write down one answer or two, but what do you do that helps you personally with your mental health? You could, just the answer. Just the answer. Write down the answer. What do you do personally? You can write down one thing or two things, or as many things. It's up to you. But it's about trying to get that view and opinion from you personally. And so we've got two people are going to scribe now. Who is that? You, Trevor, and where we're under? Somebody else? We've got the pet markers. So we need somebody else. We need somebody else. Trevor and all. One of you's taking one question and the other one's taking the other question. So you just need two pens, two marker pens there. You got two? Is there? No, you need a marker pen. Yeah, but you need two. It's not in that. It's not in there. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to come and collect these. But if you'd like others to know what you do personally, so that we can all learn here tonight and maybe try something out. Does anybody want to share theirs? You can just raise your hand or just shout it out. Anybody? Yeah. You like to write a journal. Anybody else is on that kind of wavelength of writing or writing journals? Yeah, we've got somebody else here. Anybody else want to share what you do personally? Yes. Yes. Who else wants to share what you do personally? Yeah. Sorry, I can't hear the actors are talking. See if you can just... Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anybody else want to share? You don't have to, but well, again, it's just about learning. Yes? You go to the gym. Wonderful. Okay, so if I can ask my actors to collect... Yes, somebody else? You dance. Any particular kind of dance? Or just being nosy? Anything expressive. As long as it moves the body, gets the temperature up. Sounds good. Thank you. So my actors are going to collect the bits of paper for me, and then what we're going to do now, we're going to try to address a couple of questions before we end tonight. One of the questions is this. Would you prefer to have a health professional or policy maker or people with lived experience of mental health difficulties of both? Let me repeat that question. Would you prefer to have a health professions or health professionals or policy makers or people with lived experience of the mental health or both deal with you at a mental health center? People who are professionals and or they're policy makers, or would you rather have someone who's got lived experience deal with you? Or both? One or the other, or both? Can you tell us what your view and opinion and why? We just think it's an important question. It might get some interesting questions. So let's just repeat that. The question is, would you prefer to have a health profession, professional, or a policy maker, professional, or people with lived experience to deal with you when it comes to your own mental health, sir? Anybody got anything different to say about that? We've heard one response. Let's hear something else about the same question.
Yeah, I would say nothing to say that the health professionals don't have mental health issues themselves. Even though you might not be aware of it, they've not lived experience as well. They're health professionals.
Yes, Barbara. Thank you. Yes. So we're talking, just to be clear, we're talking about, is it more beneficial or more valuable to have a health professional or policy maker person dealing with, or someone with lived experience deal with you when you come to see them?
The thing is, you can either have both. One thing is that with the medical side of things, it's registered what you're actually going through. Whereas if you're doing it with somebody who's actually living it and actually understands what you've gone through, it's an advice, and you just either follow that person to the point that they are leading you to a positive way and they're confidential what they're doing to you, because at the end they've got confidentiality. Whereas a medical person depends on, I've had a situation where I've gone to medical and I've said, I've got all this going on, but the first thing they offer you is medicine, and it's not what I need. So at the end of the day, if I went to somebody who's been in it, it's like having a one-to-one with someone who's actually experienced that, which is a different scenario. I don't want to be on drugs. I want you to understand what I'm going through. So it's a question, do I go to a medicine or do I go to someone who's actually been there and done that and is actually living out of it? So it's your choice at the end of the day. But I always say, listen to both, but don't go for drugs. And this is a way. Depends on how bad it is and how strong you are. But yeah, it's medically wise, they always offer you the medication. And it's not always the go-to because it can strain you 360 the way you didn't plan to go through, especially with people that are not aware. So it's a dangerous game. So and in that situation, you're quite, how do I put it? You're quite being manipulated, and you're not yourself. You're not 100%, so you can make the wrong decision. So it's always important to have a good friend or have somebody who's going through it or has gone through it that you know. So both can work, but one will mark you and the other one will actually work with you. So it's a choice that one has to come
Thank you. And thank you. Yes, let's give her a round of applause. We're going to go to our final question. If you had a magic wand, what one service would you bring in, improve in Lambeth or your own borough? Shout them out so Trevor can write them down. What one service would you bring in or improve in your borough if you had a magic wand? Anybody, just shout them out so Trevor can write them down. Drop-in services. So we've got drop-in services. Anything? Yes. Legal aid. Okay. Anything else that you would improve in or you would bring into that borough to improve services? Easy access to services. Is that what you're saying? Yep.
What would that look like?
Anything else? So making sure that those health professionals are in those educational centres. Someone dedicated in those educational and social centres that young people or adults are in. Yep, great. Anything else? Male mentors, yep. Anything else, finally, yeah. Couples counselling. Thank you. Okay, so I want to say thank you very much for that. I've brought the actors back on stage because I feel that we'd like to close with the actors tonight. And I just want to give you an opportunity to ask questions, anything at all, about them. They've done an extremely hard job working from June, once a week, coming together, arguing, shouting, laughing, crying, and putting this play together for you tonight. So if there's any questions that you want to ask them personally, now is your opportunity. Thank you very much. Can we give them a round of applause? Take it away. If you've got a question, fire away.
Yeah, you on the left.
To any one of you, or at least three of you.
Okay.
So what got you guys into acting?
Oh boy.
Yeah, to stand up and act in front of people is...
Who wants to start first?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a long story though. Keep it short. Keep it short. Alright, I'll try to put it in a nutshell. I went Brighton Uni, and then I just like met people and stuff, and discovered that I had some kind of skill, and I said I want to do acting, and then I've done it ever since. Yeah. And I love it.
Maybe you nominate someone.
Oh, big man. Uncle, please, take away.
You didn't call me granddad for now,
Oh, sorry, granddad, please take away.
Okay, that's, he probably says I'm very short, so I'll stand up. Yeah, basically, I've been in the entertainment business for, gosh, longer than you were born.
Really? Yeah, you're old, bro.
And I love him, so cute.
I love you as well.
And I've loved doing loads of different types of acting, TV work and commercials and such. But my passion is on the stage. Because although, like Tony said, we've been working for a long time, we've become a little family. And this is not scripted. So although we ad lib, it's still very difficult, but we can gel off each other and we can bring real life scenarios together. Then there's nothing more passionate about entertaining in front of an audience. Audience participation is so powerful, and to us, or to me also, when I'm obviously performing, I know that I've done a great job and I'm getting some feedback from the audience, and the stage comes alive. So that's why I love acting and doing what I do. Pass it on to my granddad over there.
Macy. Okay, so I joined the Black Men's Mental Health Group 18 months ago. I'm not from down here, I'm from Birmingham. Yeah. So basically, someone about 18 months ago, right, introduced me to this particular company. Got in touch with Tony. He gave me a broad sort of an overall picture of what it was about. I liked it. I liked the thing about coming together as black men, mutually supporting each other, giving each other space to share at whatever level of comfortableness. And then the added bit was the drama bit. So I sing, I write songs, national, international, singer, TV and all that. So coming before people is not necessarily hard, but the drama bit, I was developing it, and this was just the ideal forum and company. Yeah, working amongst these talented, guys that's really brought out. And I love the mental health, and I'm a mental health professional myself. So,
Thank you.
Nominating?
Oh, nominating.
No, you said only 3 people.
It's only 3.
Keep it going.
You may want to, you want me to nominate someone else?
Yeah.
Fuller.
Oh. Yeah. The junior someone disappointed.
1 minute.
Oh.
So, please, behold your audience.
Today I got time, girls.
Oh boy,
Want to time me, yeah?
Yes.
Please, timing, please.
2 minutes.
Drop gems.
30 seconds, please.
The function of the melanated men's circle is the brotherhood. So whatever it is that you're dealing with, especially in a world where mental health stigma creates a struggle where you feel obliged to hide, because the whole sport of comparison across society, whether you're speaking race specific or beyond, you see people doing this because they fear how they'll come across to their families, as parents, as siblings, everything, and then professionally. So it's a lot of pressure that, the more you come to understand these things, the more respect, your respect grows even outside of the specific issues that challenge our race group. So for me, performing arts degree, London, met in Guildhall. Prior to that, being on both sides of the fence in terms of schooling. So being next to the kids in the middle of the triangle, if you will. So president of this one, and that in terms of a bit of private schooling. And then being in front of gunpoint in terms of what comes with the rigors of the street. So having a look at both, and then, being forced to respect both. So it reached a stage where you're just tired. You're tired of society, and it doesn't matter how skilled you are or how talented you are. If you see horns on top of everything where the money is in terms of getting to the bag, doesn't matter if you want to keep your soul. Then you become a parent and it's not about you anymore. Now you have respect for people who are trapped in those demons, where the money is and where the money doesn't even really matter anymore. So it's perpetual, but one thing that breaks that ugly cycle in terms of the cyclical demonic energy is sitting in front of a circle of people who come from all different professions, to the extent where it impresses you and breaks that negative stigma of, you must be quiet. So it breaks that loneliness at the same time. And that's the main thing that kills, again, to the extent where talent becomes irrelevant. It's kind of too great in number now in terms of all of the beloved great dead. So it's ultimately needing each other. So beyond that, I'd say this gender war that's being cooked up on the internet is just kind of further evidence of, the extent to which we need each other.
Yes, one now. Any other question? Oh, yeah. You over there? Oh, you? What?
Are you the person who put it together?
Tony.
So you guys will put this together yourselves, yeah?
With the directorship of Tony.
Yeah, but it was mainly our idea, so it's still good.
I'm really quite impressed with what you've got together. So
Thank you.
I was just wondering whether you going forward, whether you've shown sort of the negative side of things, and I was wondering whether you'd be showing the positive side of things as well, and maybe putting them in parallel on the same show if that's possible. To actually show people there is a way out and there is a way forward,
not trapped.
Yeah, not trapped. And some may get that inspiration and seek that help directly from the shows.
I think that's a particular choice that I feel that I kind of lean into when I tend to make shows, because I kind of feel that what we did tonight was the positive. So we present the problem that we know that lives out in our families and our roads and our communities and our streets and our workplaces. We know these problems that are real. And so we present that reality, which is no one can deny in a way, because we all got our own reality. And I think this collective togetherness somehow can begin to show us some of the positives and the alternatives. And we've seen quite a few of them tonight. So it's that kind of style and process that I lean into more, rather than making a show that maybe that might be mirrored with the positive side. It's always designed that there are problems and frustrations and blockages and things that need working out, because that's what a lot of us are going through. And so with us as a family here tonight, we try to work through them. That's the reason why I sort of lean into the negative side of design on the show more.
Yeah, are you with it?
So I'm going to try and limit myself to one question.
Okay. You can ask more than one if you want.
Let me start by saying thank you so much for availing yourself and making the time. Because my brother travelled all the way down to Birmingham to be here. Much appreciated and much respected. And I'm glad to see the stereotypes that you guys are pushing back again. To see young men giving up their time on a weekly basis.
Young?
Yeah,
with young men. We're young
Here's a finish.
They say that real leaders lead from the front, but I think humble leaders like to take a back seat.
Yeah.
And give other people the platform and profile and spotlight. So, your work is clearly a testament of strong, dependable, and exemplary leadership. So I hand that to So I'm going to ask two questions. One is, I want to say one more thing. I work for a cancer charity. So to see prostate cancer being raised, it's never something I was quite surprised that nobody kind of tapped into or highlighted or got a chance to engage and interact with you. It is such an important thing within our community, and it's not just a thing where people over 45 are dying, we've got people over 26 years old who are dying, it's the same. So I would hope that my senior members of the panel specifically are actually ensuring that you're getting yourself tested and exactly who you are related to prostate cancer. It's a serious issue, and we know that the ratio of people who are being diagnosed with prostate cancer or dying of it is far higher in people with melanated skin. So for those of us who are black, we're at far greater risk than that we do get ourselves checked out. But saying that, I think when you're open and you're honest, you kind of do things. And I found that when you're scared of things, it makes it harder for you to step up. So we're talking about all stuff about mental health and how we're going to address it. And you could be in the play and performing the part, but when your team hits you, you don't really know where to step and where to move. So I'm going to share something and dialogue something, just to explain how challenging things can be. I've noticed that when I urinate, it's not as strong as it used to be. I'm 45 years old this December. I work for a cancer charity. Scared as shit. And that's just one example of the struggles that we have with people in black men. It's hard. You know the worst thing about it? I went to a GP 5 years ago and told me my prostate. Why do you prostate? I'm black. I don't think I have prostate cancer. There's something I should do. And the doctor pulled me out. Don't worry about it. You're young. You haven't got any signs or symptoms. And now they're like, raw. Could this get deep for me now? Because I was going to go before and now I didn't get to go. And now this starts to feel good. I'm scared, but I'm going to go. So saying that, Even though we're all in this room now and come up with suggestions and solutions on what people should do, if you're feeling challenged around your mental health and you're going through something, try and use some of the intervention that we spoke about today. Try and use some of the intervention that we spoke about today and seek some help or some advice, even if it's just from a friend. You know, just do something because it's make or break, isn't it? And I'm going to take my own example. I'm going to pull my jeans and face it as they are and say, look, it's all right. I want to have a discussion. It is.
It is.
Me and our book is CCG, like children. You know what I mean? Because we're entitled to these things. So that's one thing I want to say. And the second question, the question that I have is,
Sure. We almost forgot.
where do you guys want to go from here? Where do you want this specific play to go from here? Is this it? Do you want more performances? Are you seeking opportunities? How can we help you as a community if that is something to do?
Lloyd, want to speak?
We've mentioned this before in the past, and we would like it to take it onto the road. So, Edinburgh Fringe Festival, possibly, you know, up and down in the black communities in England, Scotland, and Wales, and Ireland, possibly, you know, get the message out there as far as possible. I mean, that's what we would like to see happen with our drama production, and get more black men involved, young and old. You know, we have a core nucleus of guys, so that's myself, Keith, and the old man down there, yeah, Trevor. Yeah, so, and you know, every time we advertise, us guys, we keep coming back because we have experience, and you know, we have a lot of stuff to share with a lot of people coming. I mean, I think Willen's gone, but apart from Willen, I think I'm the longest person in the drama group. When I started, I work in mental health, just to give a little bit of background about myself. So I'm an occupational therapist assistant, and I work in a forensic setting with men. So I've been doing that for 10 years, and about 2-3 years ago, the job was very frustrating for me. Very, very frustrating. I had a manager who wouldn't listen to me. There was a situation where I just snapped. You know when you're at work and you just snapped? And so I was being called all these racist names by a lot of the patients, you know, N-word this, you're that, your mum, that. And I just went to my manager and said, I can't take them all. This is affecting me. You've got to understand the trauma I experienced as a child growing up in England. You know, being chased down the road by the National Front, and, you know, because. And the response I got back from my manager at the time was, oh, well, he does have mental health difficulties. And I got up and I said, look, nowhere does it says in the DSM-5, which is like one of the major books for psychiatric illnesses, does it says that racism is a mental health illness. You know what I mean? And they kept on deflecting it and stuff like that. You know, he's unwell, his needs not being met. And then that snap has happened. So I had to say, like, okay, I have to do something, not to focus on what I was going from work. Because I was going into it angry. People were coming up to me saying, you're not happy, you're not smiling, what's wrong, what can we do to them? And I kept saying to them, look, racism, it needs to be dealt with, you need to speak to the patient. And luckily enough, I saw Tony advertise on my friend's WhatsApp status. I rang Tony, had a conversation, went down there for the guys, and been here ever since. I mean, a lot of these guys, they undersell themselves, because what we actually do, we meet up and we have a check-in. You know, we check in, how's our week been, what we've been doing, what's the positives, what's the negative, and we talk, we communicate, you know, and, you know, when someone's missing, you know, we don't ignore them. We say, okay, what's up, bro, you okay? Let's link up, how you doing, anything else, and have a conversation. So yeah, so, you know, that's it in a nutshell.
All it does take is just a blood test. So, I'd say to all of you, if you're a bit worried about that, just go to your GP and ask for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got what's called a benign prostate, so it's an enlarged prostate. I'm on medication. I had the ultrascan. I've had the internal scan, and you know what? I encourage men to take it. You know, but the worst thing about death is the people that miss you. Do you know what I mean? So, you know.
So, is it just a simple blood test? That's it. You know what? Do you know why I asked that question and everyone's laughing and it's not funny because this is the other problem within our community as well. Because they're gonna do other things. I mean, I want them to do them things that, and that's just, you know, you build up this defense mechanism that comes along with having everyday things that shouldn't be of that nature done to you. Because I thought it was gonna be that as well.
Hold on. But women go through cervical cancer and smear tests and everything else. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
So, thing is serious.
Yeah.
Even if the blood test wasn't an option, I would rather have the test than die.
Yeah.
The reason why so many black people are dying is because when we discover that we've got cancer, it's at the part where it's past and they can't do nothing no more.
Yeah, that's right.
So while cancer is not curable, it is treatable.
Yeah.
So we need to get in there from now so we can get, so women need to be checking your breast, you need to find out how to do the breast test and get yourself tested and not take things for granted. So, you know, it's just such a serious
Because
thing.
I got a blood test. I had one on Tuesday anyway.
There you go.
So I'm fresh. I just need to get in contact with.
The blood test for prostate cancer though?
No. But the blood test is supposed to extract it and check everything that is going on. They don't. Yeah.
PSA.
Yeah.
The other invasive procedure that everyone is scared about only happens if there are signs in your blood test that you could be vulnerable. The blood test is like any other blood test you have. Then they mark it up to tell the labs what to check for.
Yeah.
So there's no difference between a prostate blood test and any other. What matters is the sticker that they put on the blood that's taken that tells the labs what to check.
Yeah.
If you come back, look, black men over 50 are 4 times more likely than a Caucasian man to get prostate cancer. Since I turned 50, I had what I call the old man's health check, where I went and checked blood, cholesterol, and all of the other life-threatening things, and I go back and I have that done regularly. All of them involve a blood test. This is the same blood extraction. The important thing is if they detect it earlier, then they can do the vulnerable test. And when it comes to the prostate, the other check, they are going up other procedures.
Like the ultrascan.
The ultrascan. But the invasive check, which is the finger up there, if you were diagnosed that, that's a small price to pay for extending your life. So let's get this into perspective. Someone sticking their finger up your arse or dying, or dying because you didn't let someone do that. You don't even have to tell people that they did it. Get the blood test as the first step. It's just a medical procedure. It concerns your mind. And if you I also have a friend who had it. They had it done and they survived. That's been treated.
It's a good thing that we're having these conversations and that he brought it up. I've been educated on the subject as well.
Same.
So,
I think I can still maintain an erection.
The only reason why I mentioned it was about drinking raw. If there was a drama production that could educate us about stuff like this, it makes such a huge difference, a massive impact. Because our community needs to know and need to have that awareness because there's too many people dropping out unnecessarily.
I want to go because this focuses on mental health. There's clearly a series of things which are educational as well as interactive to bring out the fears and the prejudices that sit within our community. The one thing that one of the
And do you know what? Do you know what's good? I feel like a little bit of a fraud because I was with the group before. I only... Not in regards to that, but I was a part of the group before. I only joined back again on Monday, but because I was off work, I usually work on Mondays, and it happening on Mondays, I wasn't able to do work and be a part of the drama group. So when I'm on holiday, I just jumped in and they said, okay, come and be a part of the show. But they all devise it and we all devise it together and we come up with the piece and we create it. But what was interesting tonight is for the first time ever being part of the group, we had a woman's influence and she was able to direct a scene, yeah, and come up with a small bit. Now the bit that Anne-Marie came up with, she said, Kwame, rise, stand up. Okay, and look like you're coming out and you're fighting the depression and the demons that are on top of you, yeah? Not one person or who we've ever worked with in the past comes up with those ideas. It's always an idea where if someone's down and out, break that person, break that person, break that person. Let's see how they survive. Okay, we get on top of that person until they're completely broken. So it was good to get a nice female spin on things, just to show an alternative. As well. Just to show, so thank you for that, Anne-Marie. It was good to see.
I apologise for dragging you out, Anne-Marie.
we've got about 5 more minutes to have to wrap up at 10 o'clock. Is there any feedback you can give us about what your experience was tonight? Would you enjoyed it? Would you, what did you like? Why? Can you give us some feedback so that maybe we can leave off on a nice high?
Sorry, I don't want to talk about this. A scene in particular that stood out to me, the way it was choreographed. I've got ADD, so I can remember exactly what happened, but there was 2 different conversations taking place on the stage.
Oh, the bag one.
And it was like, you're acting in this side where they were paused, and this side picked up. It was a very good use of the platform on stage. It was so well orchestrated and it just captivated my attention 2000%. So I was really impressed with the way that was done, and I thought it was something that really ought to be replicated and utilized in other areas.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else about your experience tonight? Yeah.
Okay, so started at 7, okay, and we went on to 10. And then when you said, oh, that's the end, I thought, like, what's happening? But to get us all involved was not what I was expecting, but I'm greatly, I'm glad you did it.
Well done, Mr. Diggs.
Mr. Diggs.
Right, I'm going to say that I've come down to support the younger generation, yeah? And I think there's the older people that are what I was going to say is I think the point I was going to come up to was intergenerational. I think it's covered quite a lot of things here. Women, men, old people, young people, and some of the problems that we face, even down to itself. And I think what's in the back of my mind is, in order to know where we're going, we need to know where we come from. And that's why I was looking at this intergenerational, because it's important from a health perspective, family perspective, female perspective, male perspective. And I think it's really good that it's nice whenever there's a gathering. But again, for me, it's about being able to know what we look like from before, and then all of us know which is. Well, that said, it's really good to see everyone there. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But what's next? And first, I agree with you. Thank you. And how do we like to support John that
consortium?
I don't know if that's the next one.
Yeah, so what we do, we tend to work sort of 8 to 12 week cycles. So we'll start off on week 1 and then sort of work to week 8 or week 12 or something. By the end of that cycle, we've created a new piece. And then we'll perform that piece as many times in the community as possible. And then we'll take a couple of weeks rest, and then we'll start again with a new bunch of people along with the same bunch that were in the last show. So we keep on growing. We've been doing that from, I think from 2019. been doing that on a Monday night in Brixton. And I suppose the shows have always been Kwame in the lockdown, Kwame in COVID, Kwame in whatever, I can't remember all the shows. We've done lots of Zoom performances during the lockdown. And I suppose we kind of took it, I took the idea that a bit like the adventures of kind of character. So my only closest thing I can think of, James Bond, there's loads of James Bond films, the same character on a different adventure. And so all the performances that we've been doing, they've always been Kwame and whatever that we can kind of bring up to date with. Kwame and COVID-19, Kwame and lockdown, Kwame and tier 4. Remember tier 4 during the lockdown? Things like that. So we specifically Tony Sewage and the race report. Some of you may remember. We tried to make a new piece out of that. So there's lots and lots of contemporary issues that we kind of draw on in that cycle. But we always are recruiting and looking for new members to join the old members so that the cycle continues. So yeah, so we will be starting back hopefully by mid to late September. We'll be starting again back in our place. If you want to know more about that or find out and join, come and see me afterwards. But I think unless there's anything else.
You can watch all of our previous performances also on YouTube if you type in Tony Seeley or Kwame in lockdown, so you can see our performances. And for me, this is our second performance, apart from in November where we did one performance, because Boris had a moment, he let us out for 5 minutes, that we've actually done, because when I started in February of 2020, a month after that, lockdown came in, so we had to do everything via Zoom. And we didn't know what Zoom was. Okay, I did. So,
at least you know now, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, trying to create something that us elder generation, or mature generation, have no idea about, having to do Zoom in our own bedrooms or front rooms, and put on a production was a really, really big challenge, because some people are using iPhones, some people are using Samsung phones, some people are using computers, and to have to put it all together. And our first show was being live as well, and that was streamed in Australia, Africa.
America.
Oh, it was amazing.
America.
Yeah. So that for us was another milestone and a first as well. So I'm really privileged to be here on this stage with a fantastic crew. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One more.
All I'm saying is, Dad, make sure you look after those children.